Canadian Business Aviation Association. As the voice of Canadian corporate and business aviation, the Canadian Business Aviation Association has, for over 40 years, promoted the recognition of business aviation and safety, security, and efficiency among its members, resulting in significant contributions to aviation in Canada. In 1920, Imperial Oil acquired two Junkers JL-6 aircraft for use in oil exploration and personnel transport in the remote areas of northern Canada. Business aviation in Canada traces its roots back to this event. At that time, bush flying operations were already opening up the vast expanse of Canada. Small business operators were hiring pilots to transport their freight. Aerial survey and mapping was a priority for the government. Forestry patrols and mineral prospects provided incentives for companies to use aircraft. By the late 1930s, aircraft design and operation were greatly improved, advancing the use of aircraft. In the mid-1940s, an organization, later known as the National Business Aircraft Association, was formed in the United States. There was also a need for such an organization in Canada. In 1959, a group led by John R. Martin met with Bill Pepler, manager of the Canadian Owners and Pilots Association. He proposed the formation of an association which would operate under the umbrella of COPA. An organization called the Canadian Business Aircraft Operators was formed, with Martin elected chairman and J.W. Brick Bradford as vice chairman. This organization would help member companies deal collectively with the many restrictions and government directives that corporate flights were facing. In the fall of 1959, the first convention of the Canadian Business Aircraft Operators was held in conjunction with COPA's annual meeting at Saint-Jovite, Quebec. By the end of that year, 32 member companies were registered. 2 years later, the group became an independent organization and was incorporated in 1962 as the Canadian Business Aircraft Association, with 11 founding members listed on the letter's patent. Jack McVicker was elected president at the first convention held in Toronto later that year. The CBAA now had over 40 member companies. Several of the founding members are still active in the organization. In 1980, Harvey Prothero was hired as executive director because, with over 150 member companies, the workload could no longer be handled efficiently by volunteer management or committees. The head office was then moved to Ottawa. In 2001, it was renamed the Canadian Business Aviation Association. Today, its membership stands at more than 270 companies that operate over 500 business aircraft. From its humble beginnings over 80 years ago, business aviation has grown to become an integral part of Canada's economy. The use of a corporate aircraft has enabled many firms to maintain a competitive edge in the marketplace. From single-engine, owner-piloted aircraft to intercontinentally capable corporate jets, business aviation represents a diverse range of aircraft, operators, and applications. Corporate aircraft have access to many airports that are closer to the user's destination, providing a vital air transport link to many communities not serviced by scheduled operators. At any given time, a business aircraft may be transporting employees on a sales trip, rushing parts from one factory site to another, taking a group charter overseas to represent Canada at an international event, or even using an empty seat to take a child needing medical attention across the country. The CBAA showed leadership in founding the International Business Aviation Council, IBAC, which has been awarded observer status at the General Assembly of the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO. International objectives are advanced through IBAC and bilaterally with the NBAA in Washington. The CBAA is affiliated with other aviation associations, including COPA, the Air Transport Association of Canada, ATAC, aviation councils in British Columbia and Saskatchewan, the Air Transport Association of Quebec, the Northern Air Transportation Association, NATA, and local airport authorities. CBAA works in coordination with these and other organizations to address matters of common concern. A dedicated full-time staff of industry specialists maintains the national office in Ottawa. The staff, under the board of directors, handles the needs of member companies, media concerns, intergovernmental issues, and looking to the future to ensure that aviation continues to grow and evolve with safety and environmental sensitivity. CBAA depends on a vast volunteer base from its membership to work on committees it creates to handle regional and chapter issues and to serve on the board of directors. The CBAA deals with many issues including security, new technologies, user fees, and environmental issues relating to noise and emissions. Through the years, the CBAA has assumed a leadership role in advocacy for Canadian business aviation interests. In 2005, Transport Canada transferred administrative and management authority to the CBAA for a section of Canadian aviation regulations. Today, the CBAA is the sole issuing authority in Canada for private operator certificates, as outlined in Transport Canada's AIP. Safety standards are high, and this partnership has resulted in a very low accident record among corporate members. The annual convention is an important part of CBAA's program. Guest speakers, plenary sessions, and a trade show attract international attendance. Annual awards are issued during this event to recognize the contributions of individuals and companies. In 1995, a special safety award was presented to Peter Bentley, Canadian Forest Products, for 50 years of accident-free operations. In 2004, Fred Hodson and George Hansen were made honorary lifetime members for their many years of contribution to the CBAA. Conventions also include times for relaxation and fun for delegates. The CBAA believes in giving back to the community. It supports Hope Air, a non-profit volunteer organization that arranges air transportation for Canadians who need medical treatment. Over the past 12 years, CBAA has donated over $115,000 to Hope Air from proceeds of its annual golf tournaments. In 2005, the association also set up an annual flight training scholarship for a deserving air cadet. The CBAA has grown from modest beginnings to become a key part of the business aviation community. It provides essential support to its members and works to ensure that aviation remains safe, dependable, and efficient, not only in Canada, but around the world. The Canadian Business Aviation Association was presented with the Belt of Orion Award for Excellence at ceremonies held in Ottawa on June 6, 2007.